All right. Okay, lovely. Thank you, Wi-Fan, for introducing yourself. A stay-at-home mom, all right, and but kids are in Brisbane, so kind of retired already, right? Wi-Fi daughter is 24, son is 22. Hi, Amber. No kids yet, but maybe on the cards. Okay, great to know. Thank you so much this morning again for joining me. Hi. Okay, Leah. All right, part-time worker. Great. Thank you. Now it's a wonderful morning to have all of you online, and a cozy group this morning. But this is my first Zoom homepreneur that I'm conducting, and I hope for many more successful homepreneur Zooms to come, as I've been doing a lot of the presentations more in a physical office, which is in the Orchard Road, and I hold that every Tuesday from morning 10:30 to 12:30. So let's see, where we go with this. If this Zoom is a lot easier for the stay-at-home moms, then maybe would be shifting from having a physical presentation in an office to one that is online, where anywhere that you're at, whether you are driving on the way to work or you've dropped the kids off and you're having breakfast with your spouse, you're getting ready for brunch or lunch for your kids before they get back home from school. This is a good time where you can, spend the next 1 hour with me and then listen to what I have to share with you, right? Now, this morning, I want to introduce you to a online business that I've started 3 years ago, but I only started sharing my homepreneur journey just a year ago. So later on, I'll introduce a little bit about myself, but before that, what I want to be doing is I want to highlight a quote that I love very much, and it's from Hillary Clinton. No, I did not vote for her during the recent elections. But she said this: women are the largest untapped reservoir of talent in the world. And I truly believe that. One of the reasons why 1 year ago I started sharing my homepreneur journey is because I felt I have a lot of friends who are stay-at-home moms, who have worked before. They've all experienced what it's like to have a additional source of income. You know what it's like to have some form of financial independence. But a lot of them, they decide to sacrifice their careers in order for them to start a family. And because of that, a lot of them, with their talents, with their expertise, with the potential that they have from working, they kind of like put it aside. And so I feel that there is a lot more that women could give back, and there's a lot more that women could use in terms of their talents and their skills and the potential they have developed from all of these experiences, and use it to create their own business as well. So that's when I started sharing my journey. And also, of course, because in recent times, I've started to see the economy, there is a bit of a shift in the last 1 to 2 years. And in the next 1 year, I think it might not be very bright as well. So I've seen the shift in the economy, and how, now maybe even a single source of income is not sufficient because of the restructuring of a lot of companies. There's a lot of downsizing. And I believe that it's important to have a safety net. So most spouses, most families that come from a single source of income is quite dangerous, because in the event that if they lose their jobs or the traditional business, something happens to them, then what's going to happen is, they lose all source of revenue that's coming in for them. So for me, I am inspired by my children, and I'm sure that as a stay-at-home mom, or even as someone who doesn't have kids yet, there is someone in your life that you are inspired by and that you are motivated for. And for me, I'm motivated to make sure that whatever I'm doing, I would have a better future for my kids, for my children. This is right on the top right-hand corner, on the top left-hand corner, this is Annabelle and Isabel. All right, so I gave birth to a pair of twins. They came together. I had no choice. And then along came a baby. Her name is Belle. So I asked myself this, whatever I do, I want to be able to create something that I have the sense of time and the sense of freedom to be able to, spend that time with them, have a career, have a business that I can give them options in their life, be able to send them and, to various schools, various courses, whichever interest that they have, not have to hold back on that, but at the same time be able to, spend sufficient time with them and not fully at work. And that's when I started my journey. Now, before all of that, I was working like most of you. I was actually a teacher. I was a secondary school biology teacher, and I love teaching very much because, as you can see, all right, I am almost on par with my girls. Okay, so I was teaching in a convent school, and I was very happy teaching there because I had a group of students that are very close to me. This particular group of students are the closest to me because I followed them up from the time that I started teaching, from the age of 15 all the way until they were 18 when they graduated from school, and 17 in fact, 17 when they graduated from school. And so I became very close to them. But then there were some things that I did not like about teaching. One of them was the income ceiling, and of course for me, I started to see a lot of female teachers, especially when they decide they want to have a family, they cut back on the number of school hours that they're teaching, and as a result of that, their income gets affected as well. And so that was something that I knew I did not want in the future. My husband was a real estate agent, doing very well, but he was working the opposite hours of me. So when I came back from work every evening, he would be out working on a weekday, right? Weekday nights. And then on the weekends when I'm not working, he would be the one that's working on the weekends. So after a while, we got tired of this. We quarreled a few times because of that, and we decided that that's not the way that we would want to build our careers and as we start a family. So that's when we came out, we ventured out, and decided that we wanted to start our own business, and we started a training business. And because it was a very natural thing for us to do, because my husband was very successful as a real estate agent, we decided to actually start a real estate training business. And you can see here all of our students. All right, this is him. By the way, this is my husband, Winston. Looks like a very young man, right? So he taught every agency of real estate agents, and we're doing a very good business there, very, very easy, because there were no products involved. And the business that we were running, we were making between 5 to 6 figure sales revenue every month. Very, very good business. When we started the business, we had to put up a capital of about 19,000 because we renovated the place. We had to get our own training office. And so we spent about 10,000 on the renovation, and we spent another 3,000 for the rental and another 6,000 for the rental deposit. Now, it was a good business to do, but again, we were affected by the economy 2 years later into the business, and our sales dropped drastically by the time we entered into our 3rd year. So that was when we started to have to look elsewhere. So running a traditional business is not as easy as most people make it out to be, because there is employees that are involved. There is also the rental that's involved. And of course, there is the constant supply of customers that you've got to constantly bring in every single month in terms of sales. And you're working for yourself. So you can never for yourself. Nobody can ever replace you. Even if you try to get somebody to replace you, they will not do as good a job for you because it's not your own business. So that's the things that we experienced. And at that point in time, I remember in 2013, in the month of August, that's when our business saw a very huge downturn, to the point that we had to start letting go a lot of our employees. And at that point in time, I remember a student of mine sharing a video with me. And this morning, I just want to share that with you because it has, helped me set a few perspective of things right. And it really made an impact on my life. In a little while, I explain why. So let's watch this video together.
Over the next few minutes, you're going to discover a new and exciting way to make a serious income from home and create real financial freedom by capitalizing on 5 of the most explosive trends in the world today. But before I tell you how you can do this, why is it so important that you build another income stream in the first place? Well, let me quickly explain. We all know there's no longer such a thing as job security. Economies are unstable. Entire industries are moving offshore, meaning jobs that were once commonplace no longer even exist, while rapidly evolving technology is making more and more...
All right, I saw from Amber that I think the sound has stopped for a while. So let me try that again. Okay, I think there was a little bit of an error there. Okay.
Over the next few minutes, you're going to discover a new and exciting way to make a serious income from home and create real financial freedom by capitalizing on 5 of the most explosive trends in the world today. But before I tell you how you can do this, why is it so important that you build another income stream in the first place? Well, let me quickly explain. We all know there's no longer such a thing as job security. Economies are unstable. Entire industries are moving offshore, meaning jobs that were once commonplace no longer even exist, while rapidly evolving technology is making more and more jobs obsolete. Pensions are failing, and while inflation is guaranteed to rise, your income isn't. And what's more, people are living much longer. well beyond retirement age, which means that more of us than ever before need an additional income stream to fall back on. So if you're like most people, you've probably come to the realization that you need to do something to gain control over your financial future before it's too late. You need to find the right financial vehicle that has the potential to set you up for life and then take action, because nobody else will do it for you. So what can you do right now to change things? Well, first you need to understand the 4 traditional ways money has been made in the past and what's so fundamentally wrong with them. As you're no doubt aware, the first way of making money is to get a job and become an employee. You trade your time for money. You work for someone else, and they dictate all the rules. They decide how much you make, when you work, and when you take a vacation. Most likely, you are watching this presentation because you've realized that having a job will never get you where you want to go. The second option is to become self-employed. But once again, you're trading your time for money. And while you might have the potential to earn more than a regular job, every penny you earn is dependent on you. You start every month at 0. And because of this, the pressure is always on. If you've ever been self-employed, you'll know exactly what I mean. The third option is to set up your own business, then hire staff to do the work for you. But while this sounds great in theory, the reality is that you need a lot of startup capital to make it work. And you'll probably be working 60-hour weeks for many years, dealing with huge pressures and responsibility, with no guarantees that you'll ever turn a profit. In fact, statistics tell us that around 90% of businesses fail within their first 2 years. Your fourth option is to become an investor. Here, you create a passive income that pays you, but is not dependent on your physical presence or efforts. Again, while that may sound like a great idea, you have to have money to invest to get started, and usually a large amount. Then you have to know where, when, and how to invest your money in order to make more of it. So while investing can be a great way to generate an income for those who have the funds and expertise to do it, it's not really an option for the average person. Okay, as we've seen, having a job or being self-employed are unlikely to get you where you want to go. And having a traditional business or being an investor requires a lot of cash and expertise, and there are still no guarantees. But the good news is that in this new global economy, there is a much better way for you to make money, create the lifestyle of your dreams, and have the freedom to enjoy it. And best of all, it allows you to create exponential residual income, the most highly desirable income of all. Because it not only keeps coming in automatically month after month, but also increases month after month as well. So how do you create exponential residual income? Well, the fastest and easiest way to create any type of income is by taking advantage of a trend, or better yet, a convergence of multiple trends. And here are 5 converging trends that we are capitalizing on right now.
So this video really changed my life because everything that the video talked about, I experienced up to that point in my life. I was employed as a teacher. My husband was self-employed as a real estate agent. And then when we started our own traditional business, we experienced what it's like to have sales come in, but then the next month it's back to 0. And then we have to find a way to get more sales coming in as well. So that's when we decided that, well, when we saw this, we were excited because we thought about trends and we knew about trends at that point in our lives. We already were teaching our students about trends, about business trends, about even looking for housing trends, something using this tool called Google Trends. And you can also look for business trends using this particular tool. So we knew all about business trends and how to capitalize on that. But at that point in time, you know, it's like it's almost having a third party say that to you. It did help and make us more aware. And that was when we decided that what would be the next wave of trend. Now, this morning, I want to share with you this trend. Unfortunately, all right, when I wanted to find out more about what were these 5 trends, the video stopped at the exact same place that I'm showing to you right now. So I had to go and do some homework 3 years ago, and I was able to find 3 trends. This morning I want to share with you. I couldn't find all 5 trends, all right? If you were able to find the remaining 2, do let me know. I'll be very interested to find out. So these are the 3 trends that I found that are really very exciting. One of the things I noticed is that there is a trend for home-based businesses in America itself. So there are 38 million home-based businesses in US, and out of that, 70% of home-based businesses succeed within 3 years. Wow, that's majority of home-based businesses and succeed within a very short 3 years versus 30% of regular businesses. So if you ever thought of starting a business, well, you are more likely to succeed but owning a home-based business than a traditional brick-and-mortar business. Think about that. 44% of home-based businesses are started for less than $5,000, and 20% of home-based businesses make $100,000 to $500,000 every single year. When I looked at the statistic, I realized that it is a lot more viable to start a home-based business. It's a lot cheaper, and it's a lot more likely that I'll be making more money in my home-based business than definitely as an employee or even as an SME. So that's when I got excited. So I want to highlight something as well, and that is a home-based business is started every 12 seconds in the USA. So 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have another home-based business that's been started. I also want to highlight something here. I know it's a very small slide here, but I just want to highlight this to you. I'll read it out to you. Now, who runs home-based businesses? Most of us would think that women, right? Stay-at-home moms, and you're right. In fact, majority of home-based businesses, 58.2% are actually women-owned. So most of the trendings here are the same as the previous slide, but what I want to highlight something here is one of the facts here under home business facts, and that is this little icon that most of us recognize. It's a Facebook icon. So you might be wondering, okay, so home-based business sounds like a good business to start. It's relatively affordable to start one. I'm more likely to succeed starting a home-based business than a traditional business. But how do I market a home-based business? Simple. Most of home-based businesses are marketed through social media. So look at that. Percentage of home-based business marketed through social media is 82%. We're not just talking about Facebook, we're talking about Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, WeChat, Line. All of these are social media platforms. So it's very easy to get online. Now, the second trend I noticed that you are a part of, I'm sure that most of you in this chat group, you already are spending online. So look at the huge global trend of the e-commerce in 3 countries. There are 3 countries in the world. One is India. This e-commerce industry is estimated to have grown more than 30% to 12.6 billion in 2013. China's Alibaba Group has the largest initial public offering ever, worth 25 billion. So when it first launched its shares to the public, I'm sure most of you have heard of Alibaba Group, which is run by Jack Ma, and it's an e-commerce platform. Well, when they offered its shares, it was a total of 25 billion, and today it's still the largest initial public offering ever in the history of public offerings. So US e-commerce is projected to reach 294 billion, an increase of 12% over 2013. Now, you must understand that when 3 years ago, when I saw this, I realized that there are only 7 billion people in the world. But look at the spending of 7 over billion. In fact, there will be people out there who don't have access to the internet, but already look at the spending all over the world online. In fact, Forbes featured that e-commerce have grown on average 19% per year over the last 10 years. So very consistent growth. And during the dark days of 2009, when retail sales had shrank 2%, e-commerce sales actually continued to grow. So externally, you know, in the traditional businesses and the brick and mortar businesses, the sales were dropping, but online sales continued to grow. So I want to highlight 2 people, all right, most of you would know them. On the left-hand side, there is Li Ka-shing. He built his wealth through property. He's actually a property tycoon. And then the person on your right is Jack Ma. So these 2 people, I put them side by side because consistently, Li Ka-shing was Asia's richest man for 30 years until Jack Ma came along, and in less than half of that time, it took him 14 years to break that and come up, all right, as Asia's richest man. And his platform is on e-commerce. Like Bill Gates said this, if your business is not on the internet, then your business will be out of business. So a lot of businesses out there, you can see they're slowly closing down. And another trend that 3 years ago that we noticed as we were doing our research is that there is a trend that is always been pushed by the baby boomers. So the baby boomers are born between 1946 to 1964, and everything that they have been focused on has been trending. So when they were born post-World War II, a lot of the food companies, baby food companies and diapers, these companies are still around, like Huggies, Pampers. They're all still existing, even Gerber. And then when these baby boomers grew up and they became teenagers, and a lot of these fast food chains started sprouting out, like McDonald's, KFC, Burger King. A lot of these companies are still around, and it's been 40, 50 years. And now a lot of them are going into their golden years, where they want to have health and wellness, and they want to stay young and look good. And a lot of them are looking towards health and wellness. So that is where the trend is now pushing towards. So let's look at the anti-aging market. A lot of the new magazines like Time and books are featuring the science of living longer, how to live beyond 100 years. And the global anti-aging market from BCC research showed that in 2025, the global anti-aging market is past $1 trillion in terms of sales. Again, this is less than 10 years from now, but we're talking about an increase of revenue that is many times the population of the world. This piece of news I would like to share with you was the very piece of news that really made me decide that the global anti-aging market is one that is trending and one that is a perfect time to go into. And this piece of news I took from Google. So in 2013, when my business was not doing well traditionally, I picked up this piece of news while I was doing this research, finding out what are the trends in the world today in terms of business. And I noticed that Google had started a company called Calico. In fact, they had started this company with a competitor in the IT industry. They started this company with Apple. So in the IT industry, both Google and Apple are competitors. Now, these two companies, they are giants. They came together. They started a company called Calico. And this company is an industry that is focused on health and wellness. Most of us use Google as a search engine. So Google is able to capture all the data that we are searching worldwide, globally, around the world, what is trending. So for them to have started a biotech company, that is amazing. That means that there is such a great potential. So they've pumped in 500 million at first and up to 1.5 billion if things go well. You can see here in the last paragraph, Calico will set up a world-class research and development facility in the San Francisco Bay Area where we explore the basic biology of aging and develop new medicines for patients with aging-related diseases. So it's very specific. They are only looking at developing medicines for patients with aging-related diseases, not infectious diseases. So they're focused on the anti-aging market itself. Now, I followed these trends, and amazingly, in 1 year, this was what my e-commerce business that was focused on this particular trend of anti-aging generated $12 million in 1 year. Now, isn't that amazing? Because for me, when I was running my traditional business, it took us 2 years to roughly generate about 1 million in sales revenue. All right, and we're talking about Sing dollars in my traditional business. But in a short 1 year running my online business, I was able to generate $12 million. In fact, my business has expanded to more than 40 countries around the world in 21 months. So this was taken at the 21 mark. Singapore, Thailand, Macau, Cambodia, USA, Malaysia, UAE, China, Hong Kong, Ghana, Australia, Philippines, Ireland. I'm not going to read the rest. You can just quickly look through. But a lot of these countries I've not stepped into. In fact, some of these countries, if you gave a map to me, I wouldn't be able to point it out on a geographical map for you. I don't speak the language. I've not traveled there, but you can see the sales revenue that has been generated from that particular country itself. So in total, there were 47 countries. And I want to show you just some of the invoices that came in and that they have come in from overseas. So as you run your online business, you must be able to ship overseas and be able to accept multi-currency as well. So this is from the United Kingdom. And it's 4 a.m. p.m., which is a Nobel Prize nominee doctor's formulation, and it's in pounds. This is from New York, and it's in US dollars, and it's a range called Luminous from a well-known Beverly Hills doctor. Same thing, this is from Manchester, and this is from Australia in Aussie dollars itself. Now, are you curious? What are some of the products I sold online? I'm going to share with you, but I'm not going to share all of the products that I had because these are trade secrets, all right? So I'm going to just share with you one amazing product that was actually featured on a US news channel called Kansas City TV News.
Women, a better body isn't just improving our looks, but rather getting back to a look we once had. Wrinkles seem inevitable, so people are willing to shell out a lot of money to get rid of them. A new product is gaining a lot of attention, but is it worth the price tag? KCTV5's Meg Ferris takes a closer look at one cream promising to make you instantly ageless.
Instantly ageless.
This is not your grandmother's Tupperware party. These are people who have come to see a demonstration by a mother and housewife who promises they can instantly look younger and less tired.
Let the transformation begin.
The bags, I feel very run down, very tired. I'm not motivated. I don't feel good.
But in just a couple of minutes, when a tiny dab of a new product called Instantly Ageless is put under one eye, the natural fat pad that is protruding disappears.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm a movie star. I feel beautiful, I feel revived, I feel refreshed, and that I can go out and tackle the world.
The first time this woman in her early 70s saw one eye done, she teared up.
Because there was such a change, and I had sort of given up on wearing makeup and all that sort of stuff, and then it seemed like it would be kind of maybe worthwhile.
I'm just a mom. I'm just trying to make people happy.
So that was the amazing product that was featured on news. In fact, not just was it featured on news, it was also featured on a lot of TV shows in the US, like The Doctors, Rachel Ray Show. Now, another amazing product that was formulated by a well-known entertainment doctor or celebrity doctor called Dr. Nathan Newman, who I've actually gone down to his clinic, all right, not to do a facial lift, but really just to check out his clinic in Beverly Hills. He has been featured in E! Entertainment, ABC News, Good Day LA for his cosmetic surgery, which is really cutting edge. It's called a stem cell lift, where most celebrities, they would want for a facelift, but a lot of times the old way of doing it is to cut and nip and tuck. But he's been able to come up with a way to let the patients look a whole lot younger by injecting their own stem cells. And the stem cells itself are their own stem cells that will replicate and they would reproduce. All right, so they fill up the volume. So he took that technology, and this is where his clinic is in Beverly Hills. And what he did was he took that technology and he was actually featured on Good Day LA, as I mentioned earlier, and used it in his own range of products. I want to show you a picture of myself after using the products. All right, this was me 6 years ago. In fact, it's coming to the 7th year. And I used to suffer from very bad acne skin. As you can see, look at my face. Since the teen years, 15 onwards, I've been suffering from very bad acne skin. Now, this was me just a year ago. And you can see what a great change. All right, an amazing change, all right, for using the products over such a short period of time. So I am so happy with how the product has changed my face. It's given me my confidence back, and it's such well received. The range of products that's been featured in Vogue, in Shape, in Canberra Weekly, in Profile, in Marie Curie, in Figaro, in Canberra Weekly, in Women's Health. And a lot of industry watchers are saying that what we have out there goes down to repairing the symptom. So depending on the range of skin types that we have from, if you want a form of whitening or skin glow or facelift or reduce wrinkles, reduce fine lines, heals wounds, stretch marks, dry skin, oily skin, we would need to use a whole range of products to get all of these problems solved, because they are on the surface level, they are repairing the symptoms. But what Dr. Nathan Newman was able to come up with was a serum that goes down to repairing the cell level of your body part or your skin. So each of us have at a cell level the same cells. So what happens is the serum can be used not just for myself, it can be used for my mom who has drier skin, because at the cell level, we are all the same. So that is a revolution of what he came up with that was able to go all the way down to repair the cell. Now, another doctor that I work very closely with is a twice nominated Nobel Prize nominee doctor. His name is Dr. Vincent Jeeann. He's also a consultant of NASA. And his area of stem cell research is to help cells work more optimally so that people age efficiently. Because of his research in stem cell, and he's been doing that research for more than 20 over years, he was given a Nobel Prize nominee as a result of that, because his research contributes back to improving mankind. Now, the question to you this morning from the mom, stay-at-home mom that's invited you online, and for me, is this. Would you like to learn how to market these products online to generate 12 million in sales? It's a very simple process. It requires work, but the reason why we have started sharing our journey with stay-at-home moms is because we want to pay it forward. We have been very successful in building businesses online, and we want to help as many women who are staying at home with their children, who have the expertise and the potential and the skill set that they have developed from working in a business or even at a job, and use that to now work on it, running a business part-time online. But what will you need to start? Very simple. You would need an e-commerce website. You would need to maintain that website. You would need to be able to ship your logistics and your products locally and internationally. You will need to carry some stocks. You will need to find customers online and offline. And a lot of times, what I've experienced is that we do it alone with no experience. And of course, we need time and money. And I want to introduce you to a group of mompreneurs that we have been working as a community, because 2 years ago when I started my online journey, I realized that it's very difficult to do it alone. Because doing it alone means that if I hit any challenges and any problems that I face, I'm not able to get some answers. So that's when I decided that a community of mompreneurs is the best way to ensure that each of us have a higher success rate. So that's when we started to come together as a group of moms, stay-at-home moms who are also entrepreneurs, and we call ourselves mompreneurs. So I invite you to be a part of this community, where we help each other to grow, not just as a mom, but also as an entrepreneur. So you can see this picture where I'm talking to a group of stay-at-home moms, and where we're hanging out with a group of mompreneurs. And of course, an important thing is enjoying motherhood together as well. We want to work hard, play hard, and the reason why we want to work hard is so that we have time with our children, have the flexibility of the option of staying at home with them. Also, we have exercising together, yoga, Zumba, cooking, and we have family nights every once a month. And also, it is important for us to give back to society. So what we have is whatever we have created in terms of for our family, we've taken care of our family, we have access, we take that and we give it back and we pay it forward. And we've also been able to travel with families and friends as we build the business together. And that is the most fulfilling part, because not just are we building the business together and earning an income together, we're also enjoying our lives together as well. But I want to tell you that time is not on our side. This morning, you were invited by a stay-at-home mom, either that or a retiree or a stay-at-home dad. And each of us have started an online business, a stay-at-home business, because we wanted to have time. We wanted to have the freedom of time to spend it with our family, to spend it with our children, to spend it the way that we want, to do the things that we love, to build community, to volunteer, to give back. So time is on our side. We only have left and right hand. That's where I want to tell you that this is to help you succeed as a first-time mompreneur. So even the mom that has invited you, she doesn't have all the time. She's only able to help 2 moms at any one point in time. So this has been set up for you to run your own home-based business, the website, the web programming, the web design. All of this you do not need to worry about. And also 30 plus language translations on your website, so that if you have customers from overseas, anywhere in the world, majority, or I would say all of the countries, they would be able to find their own language being able to be translated on your website itself. So once they click on that language, it will translate immediately. And the website is able to accept multi-currency payment, so that you do not need people to convert it to Sing dollars before they can actually buy on your website. And we continue to work with renowned medical scientists to create cutting-edge products that are already in demand. And you focus on the anti-aging market. Also, we are providing shipping to more than 120 countries globally for you, so that all of the products that you are marketing would be able to be shipped up. You would not have to pay for any of this. And any product that you're shipping overseas, you would need to have approved licensing in that country. So all of the HSA, AVA licenses worldwide has been set up for you. And we realized that running, in the last 1 year that I've been teaching, and the last 3 years I've been building this business, I realized that most of us are not on our laptops anymore. Most of us are on our smartphones. So how many of y'all here are zooming in from your smartphone rather than your laptop? All right, most of y'all would be zooming in probably from a smartphone. So as a result of that, we realized that mobile apps are important. We've created a mobile app called J Mobile that helps you to run your business from the palm of your hands. We continue to provide ongoing mentorship and trainings to help you grow as a new entrepreneur. As you saw earlier on, the Mompreneur community is for us to mentor new moms who are starting out in the business, to help them to become successful, and then for them to then pay it forward. And of course, as you expand the business, we'll teach you how you can do that and be able to make more money. So this business is completely up to you how much you want to make. We usually start off with making a couple of $100 a month, and we bring that up to a couple of thousand per month. And then you can scale that up depending on how much time you're willing to commit to in this business. But, I want to tell you that, as I mentioned earlier, time is not on side. And just as, I have kids that you've seen, how young they are. My youngest right now is 3 years old. All right, she turns 3 in April this year. And we, as a group of mompreneurs, we realize that it is important to handhold our new moms for a certain amount of time. We notice, just like kids, kids take about 1 year before they can start walking on their own. So we created a Mompreneur internship, and it starts from only Sing dollars 300. It's a one-time payment, 300 and up. So get back to the mom who invited you here. And if you're interested to quickly get started, on running your home-based business, we will handhold you for 1 year until you become successful, and we want you to pay that forward to the next mom who you feel needs that extra income to change their lives. We really are to get started immediately. And our next training is tomorrow. So it's happening same time from 10:30, and it will be a slightly longer session to about 12 or 12:30, but it's from the comfort of your home. Get the link from the stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad who invited you. So what are the things that I'll be going through? Very simple. Skill number 1, I immediately want you to get started in a business. How to get unlimited free clients and know exactly where to find unlimited customers for free. So this is an example of where to get them for free. I'm going to teach you how to get instant customers who want your products now from the internet without spending a single cent. How to use Twitter to find customers who want your products now, and how to know if the customer is desperate. I'll show you. 3 little known Facebook posting strategy guaranteed to attract people to your business without spending. And how to market in forums without selling or promoting and get unlimited sales. All you need to learn to do is search, copy, and paste. So you can see there are 3 social media platforms that I'll be focusing on is Twitter, Facebook, and forums. So if you do not already have a Twitter account, go and set that up before tomorrow. And then if you don't know how to do search, copy, and paste, make sure that you learn that before you go online tomorrow. And I want to teach you something called value marketing. And this is a technique that is not taught anywhere, where you add value to someone And adding that value makes that person want to buy something. So most people want to buy, but they do not want to be sold to. And that's where, when I teach you this process called value marketing, most people who are in your target market group will want to buy. And then, of course, most important thing for me is to set you up to run your business on autopilot. Because we have wanted to run this business so that we can have the time freedom with our family. So I'm going to teach you that, how to run your business on autopilot. The more money you make, all right, the more hands-off, the more money you make, built through wealth. I want to end by sharing some stories of successful homepreneurs in our community that we have been doing the business together with. One of which is, her name is Jeeann. She's a good friend of mine. She was previously a Singapore Airlines stewardess, and she had been working as a Singapore Airlines stewardess for more than 13 years. Now, Singapore Airlines has a contract clause that requires you to leave your job, all right, to resign if you get pregnant. Now, at that point in time, while she was running her business online, all right, she had been running a business online for 2 years part-time while she was working in a full-time job. And this last year in 2016, in the beginning of the year, she found out that she was pregnant. Because of that, she had to leave her job. Now, after 13 years of working as a full-time SIA stewardess and working part-time on this online business, her online business matched her full-time income. So she told me that she was able to make a choice to become a full-time stay-at-home mom, and her income was not affected at all. And I'm so glad to hear that, because that gives me, joy and happiness to know that another stay-at-home mom has the option and is still having income coming in while she's running her own online business and yet being able to spend time with her own baby. Now, another Singapore Airlines stewardess that I want to share with you, all right, is a close friend of mine. Her name is Jeeann. And after becoming a stay-at-home mom for 11 years, she decided that she wanted to start her own home-based business. So in 17 months of being a home-based business owner, her online income overtook her pilot husband's 17 years salary. So that's amazing, because that means that he had been working for 17 years. He could not even match her 17-month full-time online business. Now, I want to end with a quote from Oprah Winfrey. And I thank you for this morning, sharing this morning with me and coming online. And I hope to invite you to be in the same community of homepreneurs with us as we work together to help empower more women to take a hold of their lives, get a second income for themselves. If you're a single mom, or if you're single, or you know of single moms out there who need a second chance in life to be able to create their own source of revenue for themselves, all right, do invite them for our next Mompreneur Zoom. So I end this and I leave a quote with you, and from Oprah Winfrey, who says, create the highest, grandest vision for your life, then let every step move you in that direction. Thank you for joining me this morning. I wish you a very happy Chinese New Year, and